right, that was exciting. So first off, I'd like to thank our sponsors. Coffee provided by Black & Denim, located at the Blind Tiger. They have 2 locations, one in Ybor and one in South Howard in Tampa. Breakfast was provided by Valley National Bank, formerly known as U.S. Ameribank, and of course the Hillsborough County and Entrepreneurship Collaborative Center for allowing us to be here today. Real quick, we have Visit Tampa Bay next. Is Chloe here?
Yes.
Hey Chloe.
She can just wave.
All right, so no pitch, no 30-second?
That's all
No,
right.
not yet.
No? All right, and then I would like to thank the libraries on site every Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And the SBA program following 1MC today. Ask CJ to pitch for 30 seconds. I don't think I'm supposed to read that.
He's
But
back.
it's back there.
Talk about your program. What do you have going on today? Really fast.
Basically, I'm going to discuss what SBA does for the community and as well as for the entrepreneur and startups.
That was actually really a great 7-second pitch. Not many of us can do that. Go ahead, you got 10 seconds. 1, 2, I'm just kidding.
Chloe Coney with Tampa Bay Next. No more since you were in here. How many of you heard about Tampa Bay Next? I want to see some hands go up, okay?
Not enough.
Love these hands. How about y'all believe in the congestion that we have in our community? Anybody want to do something about it?
The traffic.
Okay.
The traffic.
I should have seen everybody's hands go up.
I meditate on the way
okay?
driving down here just so I don't lose my mind.
Yes. So I have some literature here. I'm representing FDOT, Tampa Bay Next. We're looking at transportation. We want to hear from you. So I'm going to be sitting in here. If you got any ideas, anything you want to talk to me about after this, feel free to come and see me, okay?
Thank you, Chloe.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right. We got our next presenter, David, with Startup Space. Is he here? He is here. Ah, there you are. I was wondering, I thought you were the new videographer over here. You got yourself set up? All right, let's do it. You ready? Here we go. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for giving me this time to talk about a business that I just launched. My name is David Ponraj. I recently left a job at Nielsen, the television ratings company, to start my own business. I led innovation for Nielsen, so cutting edge technologies that we hear about in the paper, computer vision, AI, robotics, etc. So as Nielsen was trying to get to the next generation of data collection, I kind of led that. But I've been a serial entrepreneur. I've had businesses before, and I got the bug. So I quit my job, and about 45 days later, or less than that, I'm here presenting my business. All right, so the business is Startup Space. The problem today is, I think if you're a startup or an entrepreneur here, you'd agree, it's hard to communicate with fellow entrepreneurs in a simple way unless you're already part of a group. So if you're on a Facebook group, or you're on a WhatsApp group, or if you're in a community like this, you get to interact with your fellow startups, entrepreneurs, and small businesses. And there isn't a simple way to connect with each other. If you think about it, if I want to go look up a good CPA firm, I could go to Google and say, who's a good CPA? I could even say, who's a good CPA for startups. But usually the people with the best SEO are at the top of that list. And rightfully so, right? Because that's how the pages are ranked. But that doesn't give me what I want. And I actually tried it. I'm a serial entrepreneur. When I came back to start my business, I tried to look for a CPA. Called 3 of them, wasted my time, realized that they don't have a startup program. Finally talked to friends, and somebody told me, hey, I know a great guy. I went and met him, perfect. He has a program that helps startups figure out, is it an LLC, is it a C Corp, S Corp? He does the whole thing. That's what I was looking for. It took me like 4 days after being a serial entrepreneur, having enough connections in the community. So think about college students or people who just want to start a business. They don't have a resource to this app with your zip code. You can ask questions to other members in your own community for free. So it's a peer, it's almost like Yahoo Messenger back in the day, or Yahoo Groups, chat groups. But there's a mobile-first, mobile-only platform. There isn't a web version of this that allows you to connect in a simple way with people in your community. And on top of that, it also allows you to have close discussions. So if you have a business and you want to connect with your customers, it allows you to have that engagement one-on-one. Now, there are many ways to do it, but this gives you a simple, one-touch, one-stop solution to also engage with your customers. And I had some comments there, but basically the beta users, we made it really, really simple, right? We're like a text box, you type your question, and somebody answers the question. No fancy frills, nothing. And as a startup, we're always thinking about the minimum viable product. How do you get to market fast? How do you come up with a prototype that, based on customer feedback, you go back and develop? You don't build a Cadillac in the garage to find that nobody wants it, right? So that's kind of how we're building it. Looking at the market size, schools graduated in 2017, and all the numbers are from SBA.gov, Princeton Review, and from Top MBA. Addressable market, I said I'll take 10% of that market, and I will have a tiered structure to be able to say, if it's a business that wants to connect with their customers, it would be one fee in that private network, while the public is still free. If you're a startup and you want to connect, it will be a different fee. And if you're a college student who wants to connect directly with a focused group, it's a different fee. And the addressable market, I said, was 10% of whatever is out there as the current pool today, and just multiplied it by the cost or the money they would pay per month. So it's a subscription-based service. Our app is in beta release. You can go look up Startup Space in Google or Android, Google or App Store. There are some features here that I'm sure as you ask questions, I'll be able to talk about. Our goal is to be profitable, not to go ask for money. So we're, I'm funding the whole thing myself, not looking for investors, looking to get profitable first. Competition, Facebook, Quora, meetups, WhatsApp, kind of intuitively they are our competition. Our team, founded the company, got marketing, finance, and technology. And this is how you can reach out to us. And if you have more questions, I'm happy to take them. Thank you.
David, how can the community help you?
Yes. So first off, by being beta users, beta has, you can't build software without bugs, right? It's kind of part of the life. Like if you want, you can build a perfect app, but I'll see you in a year, right? That's not worth it. So the biggest way you can help is download the app, put your zip code in. It's a free service, so you're not paying anything for it, and just interact in the platform. It gives us feedback. There's also an easy way to reach out to us if there are bugs. You take a screenshot and send it to us.
Just some feedback about the screen. Make sure the words are bigger because I have trouble seeing it. Because I want to download the app, and I will, but I'm just going to have to walk up closer. So just make sure your words are bigger. Those are pretty big screens, but in general, whatever room you're presenting in, and it's tough to see the orange and white.
Yeah. Thank you. Great feedback.
Yeah. Dave, great presentation.
Thank you.
You said the startup market is $70 million compared to some bigger numbers for small business and so on. So I think it's a small market, but what exactly is your value proposition? How do you define it in one phrase?
Yep.
Is it
So,
social level for startups?
I would say it's actually just a way to answer your questions, as simple as that. And if you're a startup, you have lots of questions. The one thing that's common between all startups, literally if I just go and open my computer, I have like 10 things I gotta think about right now. And I don't have anywhere to ask. Like I could go to Google searches all day long, but I have friends who will actually help me if they could get to me. The value proposition is that I'll connect you in a very simple way, locally. There's no point in connecting with somebody in New York. Most of my questions need answers here locally. So it connects me with my own zip code. Or, in the future, as we roll out of MVP, it'll actually get into correct addressable market sizes. For now, to keep it simple, we went to zip code. Eventually, it'll be more sensible size of markets.
Couple questions. Have you figured out what is your customer acquisition cost?
Yeah. So the customer acquisition cost, we're actually working with the branding team to come up with the actual cost of it. But for now, we think the first 100,000 could be organic with a little bit of AdWords and Facebook campaigns, stuff like that. But we feel like the first part of it will be organic for the first year. With most of the money not spent directly on customer acquisition, but more on branding, awareness, because we are not limited by geography. I could, if I do CES and 2 other shows in a year, I could get enough to drive the first set of users. But you're right, I haven't actually got that number yet.
And I guess a follow-up to that is, what would make you unique versus somebody going on for LinkedIn and typing in their expertise and then getting into one of the community pages on LinkedIn? If you're in a marketing expertise, you get on one of the marketing pages. If you're in quality assurance, you get in the quality assurance page. What is your uniqueness that will bring somebody to you?
That is the problem, actually. The problem is that if you have good marketing, you end up being the top, right? I have worked with people on LinkedIn, like I wanted some consultation, so I went on LinkedIn, posted a job, they give you like a pro LinkedIn member contacts you. It was a horrible experience. And it was local, but it was a horrible experience. And I thought, if I had asked one of my peers for this, they'd have actually given me the right answer. So it's not about whether you can get an answer. Yes, you can get an answer. But peer reviewed, we all know any app or any technology that's peer reviewed, or even a solution that's peer reviewed, is way better, right? Customer reviews, that's why when you go to Google and we look up a restaurant, we actually look more than the ratings, we look for what the feedback is. So the value is that it is peer curated. That's the most important thing.
Have you thought about giving the software away for free as opposed to charging a subscription and then monetizing it on the back end from the people that are being referred to, like?
Well, we don't allow advertising, but we allow them to have direct contact with their customers.
And that's paying a subscription?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. The actual users don't pay any fee at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Good presentation. I think what he was saying actually was that both sides of the market, the CPA and the nascent entrepreneur, he was saying should be allowed to onboard for free, but when an exchange took place between them, there would be a fee in it. I think that's kind of
That
what
was
you're saying.
kind of what I was thinking,
Yeah,
yeah.
but my question is, because it's a two-sided market, you know, you have to have a lot of one in order to get the other. You know, like as a CPA, which I'm not, why would I come on the platform if you have no users? And if you are a user, why would you go onto the platform if you have no professionals to provide those services to you? So there has to be a cost in onboarding both sides of that market for it to even really have legs. So how many of those sides of the market have you onboarded so far? How many users do you have? How many professionals do you have? Just so we have an idea of where you're at.
Yeah. So I just launched the app. But here's the thing. I think there's still a little distinction to be made. I get what you guys are saying, but it's not about having CPAs already have existing users. It's nice to have existing users, but a CPA is not onboarding to go find new market. A CPA is onboarding to help connect better with his existing customers. So what he would do is he would just send an invite to all his customers and say, I have a platform now that simply connects me with you in a very easy way. I actually, when I was talking to my CPA, he said, can I use this tool to reach out to my customers? It's a lot simpler way than having a WhatsApp group or having another group where I can also post, you know, any ads, any relevant government information, any changes in the laws. So it is not okay, there is in the future the potential to have new customers as more people are there than CPAs. CPAs can say, can I use your tool to now go find a new market? Yes. But this is also just a way to connect directly. So if you replace a Facebook group with this app, it works.
Okay,
Yeah.
I understand. So it's not so much really for the user, it's more for the private practitioner to use within their organization.
Yeah, so there are actually two kinds of products now, right? There is a product that's a free product, and then there is one for private practice. Both standalone products, they could exist without each other. The value comes when both of them are so rich that then now they start actually helping each other out. That's down the road. But to launch, we're just going to launch them as two separate. I come and sell to you as a platform that helps you connect with your business. I go to communities and say, here's a free app to go talk to your peers. Two separate.
Gotcha.
You work for a big company, Nielsen. Okay, a lot of smart people in there. What did you bring with you from Nielsen to?
Yeah. Which is this. I think you can ask the coders, the team that went before us, for somebody to build 2 native apps in less than 45 days and publish it is pretty hard. And that's the kind of expertise I brought. I actually have a lot of technology development expertise. I had teams around the world, about a $10 million team around the world working for me in Nielsen. And that kind of expertise allowed me, the moment I got out of the company, I was able to launch and prototype really, really fast. I talk to a lot of businesses that are even established, they can't even do this. Right? Even if you have the money, it's hard to find good developers who can develop this fast. So kind of that's my expertise, is that without being a technologist or a coder, I can build solutions really fast. And I'm not, lack of time, so I'm not even talking about this, but the future of this is really AI. I have not even touched on it, it's not a conversation for today, but think about the potential when tomorrow, because there is already answers on the platform, you start using AI to start predicting customer behavior and saying, who's the mayor of Tampa? Well, you can wait for a peer to answer, or your AI can just say it for you, right? Because there are some just yes, no, or just informational questions that you can then use AI. So that's where my excitement comes in, but you gotta first have the base. And so we're building the base, keeping it really simple, just a text box, ask questions, answers, and then in the future we can bring in advanced technologies to kind of start driving this.
What's your exit strategy?
there is no exit strategy. I want to make money and just have a regular business. That's why there is no that's why there is no investment plan. There is no investment slide here. I'm not looking for investment. I want to go and be profitable.
Or Facebook or buy you offer you $1 billion.
That's all our dream, right? But I'm not living for that dream. I'm actually looking to see how fast can I become profitable. How fast can I say this is my cost to run the business, this is how much revenue I have. That's the goal. And if you see all the financials I'm creating is to see how can I break even and how can I make money and how can I have a business like most of you do.
How many users do you have?
So I have 50 users. I haven't asked anybody to download till today. I'm still in beta, so I'm hoping that we can come out of beta by the end of this month, and then we can officially launch it to have general users on it. So I have 50 users now. Most of them are just testing and providing feedback on the app.
And then when you promote that, you promote it just locally in Tampa?
No, so we're picking. So our strategy is to pick top 25 cities in the U.S. and top 25 universities in the U.S. And actually, there are a lot of cities that are, and Tampa is pretty vibrant, but it's not even in the top 5 of the most vibrant cities for startups, right? There's Miami, there's Austin, there's Las Vegas. So there's other cities, and I think we'll get a lot more traction in those cities to engage the community than we would in smaller cities. So that's our strategy actually. Expansion is to take the top 25 cities for entrepreneurs and top 25 business schools and kind of engage with them directly.
And then people, if you take it.
Sorry.
Yes, I think that makes sense, but if I live in Tampa, I want to make sure that people are here that I'm interacting with are, they're a lot more. Does that make sense?
But it's local, so whatever city you go to, like I could do it in Dunedin, it's only for people in Dunedin. So if I go to Las Vegas, you're not going to see anything that's happening in Las Vegas.
I've been on a few platforms for startups, and I refer some of our students to them. And some of the problem has been that the companies or whatever the CPA, even CPAs on the other end aren't getting back to people. So is there any type of incentive, and then so they just stop going or stop utilizing them. So is there any type of incentive for the companies that you get on to actually continue to interact or have like a timely response to them?
Yeah, and so that's a great question. So we are, one of the things we're solving for our MVP is engagement, right? Like when I talk to people as I was launching this idea, they said the biggest challenge you're going to face is engagement. So we have put a lot of thought behind this, and that's why for us, we believe our secret sauce is AI. Because people will lose engagement, but most of those things are self-help kind of things that, where the CPA says, yes, I'll let you use AI to help me run my business, then their customers will see way better engagement, right? So for us, what we're trying to solve for is engagement. So once we are fully launched, we actually want to go to a 4-hour cycle where questions on the platform disappear, Instagram style, after 4 hours. So you can't even see the question. Only the asker can see it in his or her archived questions. The public can't see it. It drives engagement, right? Because you're like, I heard the question, I didn't see the answer. Let me post it myself again. To drive engagement, so you will start, it's that Instagram side, but you will, to keep it clean, keep it fresh, and keep it engaging, you will start losing content after the fact.
And sorry, just last minute, are you building that AI here in Tampa Bay with local developers?
No, we're building everything overseas. Because I had it, my team was completely outside the US.
I understand, that's okay, that's
Sorry.
what I was asking.
But I'd love to partner. I'm actually trying to partner with LaunchCode, with a few local companies. I'm actually talking to a local company this week. I would love to have the service delivery of it here and allow students and other people to actually look into the code, be able to understand how it works, give them real life experience. I'm partnering in a big way with St. Petersburg College, so I'm doing a lot of programs with them. Yeah, I'm happy to partner with anybody and help students.
You mentioned the education market a lot, and I'm involved in that. So I can just speak about like Hillsborough Community College and the University of Tampa and their entrepreneurship programs. Both schools have very deep connections into the community in terms of connectivity to professionals like that for students. So I'm curious, like you seem to think that there's a void in that marketplace for students to be able to access professionals. What's that based on, and what sort of research have you done in that area?
So for us, the reason I didn't actually go into depth because it was a 6-minute bit, but for us, we believe that one of the best use cases is academia. And the reason is that, and I actually am working with USF Connect, I'm working with SVCM, so I haven't worked with Hillsborough, but I hope today could be an opportunity to kind of trigger that. Because if you think about somebody who's working in a lab, and USF Connect does have people actually working in labs as startups, right, in the USF Connect building. If you have a question for a professor, your professor is a PhD, he or she's doing their own research. Now to get in front of them or even to get hold of them is going to be really difficult. But there are already white papers in that field already. So part of our challenge is to get access to those white papers, to be able to use natural language processing, to be able to connect back to the end user and make that startup not have to wait for that 2-week moment to talk to the professor, right? And every professor I've talked to, I don't have any hard stats yet, because you got 50 things to get all this done at the same time. But everybody in academia thinks when they hear about the first thing, they're like, wow, there's so much potential to be able to start tapping into information that already exists to help drive business than wait for a human being to have to engage with you, because that professor probably is mentoring like 15 startups, right? But there's already published research in that field. So we believe academia is probably one of our best use cases for an engaging platform like this.
Right, and what I'm saying is, I'm not talking about the professors, I'm talking about the entrepreneurship programs aggregating CPAs, attorneys, insurance providers to meet with students for free on an active basis through workshops, through private conversations and so on. That exists at least at those two institutions, University of Tampa and HCC. For sure. I mean, I can speak firsthand about both of those, but I do think for schools that either don't have an entrepreneurship program or aren't doing that, there's definitely an opportunity in this market, or a way to sort of leverage it.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? It would be awesome to try this out in the entrepreneurship program at HCC to see, because we believe that we're not replacing the human interaction, we're actually augmenting it and making it more meaningful. Because then there's a 24/7 interaction within that community, right? So I would bet that if this actually was a tool for existing entrepreneurship programs, it would actually make it a lot better. And I'm actually trying to get that also with the entrepreneurship program at USF. So it would be, whenever we test this, it would be free. So we could do test cases and kind of validate whether this actually materializes or not. Yes.
One more question? Anybody? All right.
So does anybody have a community announcement that they would like to tell the group? Any events, anything? Go ahead, Neil.
Franchising for Dummies, and I'm the dummy, and I'll be presenting this on the 8th of August here after the event, after one of the cups. So if you have any ideas or you want to know the basics, want to be a dummy like me, join us.
I'm looking for solar installers. We have another company, which is one of my channel partners, Solar Source, and I'm looking for anybody who's interested in installing solar panels for tiny homes, boats, mobile homes, RVs, etc.
Join Manno with Busy Bee Marketing. Some of you may or may not know who I am, but I am part of MGM Friends, which is a free business networking group. Please go on to mgmfriends.com and you can check out any of the locations. We have 18 different locations throughout the Tampa Bay, greater Tampa Bay area. Apollo Beach, we open 2 in Pinellas, so go out, it's free to come, network, build relationships. And also on August 8th, we have a fundraiser that's going on at Hamburger Mary. So for those of you who have not been there, it's a bingo night and it is a lot of fun. So